Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. As we delve deeper into the Miami Dolphins' journey towards their ultimate goal, the Super Bowl, the question remains, is Mike McDaniel truly the right coach to lead them there? We've already explored the impact of Stephen Ross, the Dolphins owner, on the team's aspirations, but now it's time to focus on the man who holds the keys to the locker room and the field, Mike McDaniel. With 32 teams in the league all vying for the same glory, the Super Bowl, McDaniel's ability to drive this team to the pinnacle of success is under intense scrutiny. To answer that question, let's take a closer look at the factors that make McDaniel the perfect candidate to lead this team to the promised land, as well as some of the challenges he faces. There are undeniable strengths to McDaniel's leadership, but are they enough to push the Dolphins over the top in their quest for a Super Bowl? Let's break it down as we explore the ups and downs of McDaniel's tenure with the Dolphins and consider if he's the man to end the franchise's Super Bowl drought. First and foremost, one of McDaniel's most significant contributions has been his innovative approach to offense. When he was hired in 2022, he arrived with a reputation as an offensive mastermind, and he quickly proved that to be true. His ability to adapt and evolve the Dolphins' offense has been a game-changer. A prime example of this is the implementation of the cheat motion, a tactic where a receiver, such as Tyreek Hill, gets a head start running before the ball is even snapped. This gives players a natural advantage, making them harder to cover. The Dolphins' offense is one of the most dynamic in the league, and McDaniel's creative play calling has been a key reason for that success. With stars like Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Devon Achane, McDaniel's offense promises to remain a powerful force for years to come, especially if they can stay healthy in the 2025 season. But it's not just about the offense. Mike McDaniel is also known for his leadership abilities, which have been a refreshing change of pace for the Dolphins. Unlike previous coaches like Brian Flores, who often seemed more focused on enforcing discipline through fear, McDaniel has fostered a culture of authenticity and trust. He genuinely cares about his players, something that resonates deeply within the locker room. McDaniel's leadership is characterized by his approachability and the genuine bond he shares with his team. Whether it's through emotional speeches after victories or his ability to maintain a positive atmosphere, he has proven to be someone the players can rally behind. His fiery passion after big wins, like the one against the 49ers, was met with a game ball from owner Stephen Ross, signaling that McDaniel's leadership is both appreciated and respected. This type of environment could be the key to the Dolphins' long-term success, as it builds a foundation of unity and motivation for the team. Additionally, McDaniel's track record, though not flawless, reflects the challenges he's had to overcome. His record of 28-23 in the regular season, though respectable, doesn't tell the whole story. It's important to consider the circumstances he's faced, such as injuries and a tough schedule. The Dolphins' upcoming 2025 schedule, which will officially be released in May, looks daunting. Games against heavyweights like the Baltimore Ravens, Buffalo Bills, and Los Angeles Chargers, among others, will test McDaniel's ability to lead this team through some of the league's toughest opposition. Yet, rather than seeing this as a disadvantage, McDaniel has the chance to prove himself as an elite coach by facing these formidable teams head-on. If he can navigate these challenges, it will only bolster his reputation and give the Dolphins a shot at a deep playoff run. Despite these strengths, however, there's a lingering concern about whether McDaniel can truly lead the Dolphins to a Super Bowl. The shadow of Stephen Ross's history with head coaches looms large. Ross has been known to have a quick hook when it comes to his coaching staff, having cycled through 3 coaches since 2012. McDaniel has already lasted 3 seasons, which is a small victory in itself, but whether he'll survive a 4th season hinges on his ability to perform in the postseason. The Dolphins have not won a playoff game since 2000, and breaking that streak will be crucial for McDaniel to secure his future in Miami. To remain in the Dolphins' long-term plans, McDaniel will need to lead this team to a playoff berth and, ideally, clinch a home playoff game at Hard Rock Stadium. A win in the playoffs, which would be their first in over 2 decades, could be the catalyst that propels this team towards Super Bowl contention. So, does McDaniel have what it takes to finally bring a Super Bowl championship to Miami? He certainly has the offensive innovation, the leadership qualities, and a solid track record as a head coach. The question now is whether he can overcome the pressures and challenges that come with the job. McDaniel must continue to evolve as a coach, particularly in the postseason, where the stakes are higher and the margins for error smaller. The Dolphins are hungry for success, and Mike McDaniel might just be the man to guide them to the Super Bowl. However, in order to fully realize his potential as the Dolphins head coach, he will need to step into the shoes of the legendary Don Shula, who knew how to lead his teams through adversity and achieve greatness. If McDaniel can rise to that challenge, the Dolphins' Super Bowl dreams could very well become a reality. As the 2025 season approaches, all eyes will be on McDaniel and his ability to lead this team to glory. The road ahead is not an easy one, but the potential is there. Will he be able to take this team to the next level, or will the weight of history and expectations prove to be too much? The answer to that question will shape the future of the Miami Dolphins and the legacy of Mike McDaniel as their head coach. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? The Miami Dolphins have officially made one of the most anticipated moves of the offseason, signing edge rusher Joey Bosa to a blockbuster contract. This addition has sent shockwaves through the NFL, with fans and analysts alike buzzing about what this means for the Dolphins' defense in 2025. The Dolphins, who have steadily built a competitive roster, have now firmly positioned themselves as one of the most formidable teams in the league, and this move to bring Bosa into the fold could very well make them the most feared defense in the NFL. Joey Bosa, who has been one of the premier pass rushers in the NFL for several years, is known for his explosive speed, power, and relentless motor. The former Ohio State star has consistently been a game-changer on the field, earning multiple Pro Bowl selections and All-Pro honors throughout his career. With the Dolphins making this major acquisition, it's clear that they are looking to make a statement on both sides of the ball, but especially on defense, where Bosa will now join forces with a talented group of players. The team's defensive line, which already boasted stars like Christian Wilkins and Zach Sealer, just became one of the most dangerous units in the league. Miami's defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, is known for his ability to maximize the potential of his defensive players, and with a weapon like Bosa now in the fold, expectations are sky-high. Fangio's complex defensive schemes, designed to confuse and overwhelm quarterbacks, could now be complemented by Bosa's ability to pressure the quarterback with unmatched intensity. With Bosa's pass rushing skills, Wilkins' ability to collapse the pocket from the inside, and Sealer's constant hustle, the Dolphins have all the pieces necessary to wreak havoc on opposing offenses. The addition of Bosa also has significant implications for Miami's secondary. With the defensive line now capable of generating consistent pressure, the secondary will have more time to lock down receivers and create opportunities for turnovers. Players like Xavier Howard, one of the league's top cornerbacks, and Javon Holland, a rising star at safety, will benefit immensely from the added pressure up front. Quarterbacks will now be forced to make quicker decisions, and that's where the Dolphins' defensive backs excel. Howard has been known to make game-changing plays, and with Bosa putting pressure on the quarterback, he could have even more chances to make his mark on games. There's no doubt that this move sends a strong message to the rest of the AFC East. The Dolphins are not just trying to compete, they are going all in to dominate. With Bosa now in the fold, they have the makings of a defense that could rival some of the best in NFL history. The 49ers, Bosa's former team, were one of the league's top defenses over the past few seasons, and now Miami hopes to replicate that success with Bosa as their centerpiece. The move also has a ripple effect on the entire AFC. Teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills, and New York Jets will have to plan around a defense that can pressure the quarterback from every angle. But while Bosa's addition is undoubtedly the headline, it's important to recognize the broader vision behind this move. The Dolphins have been quietly assembling a roster capable of making a deep playoff run for a few years now. The development of Tua Tagovailoa into a legitimate franchise quarterback, coupled with an explosive offense featuring weapons like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, has given Miami one of the most dynamic teams in the NFL. However, it was always clear that their defense was the missing piece. Now, with Bosa in the mix, Miami's defense has the potential to turn games in their favor, allowing the offense to focus on putting up points without worrying about a lack of support on the other side of the ball. One of the most intriguing aspects of this move is the way it fits into the Dolphins' broader strategy of building through the draft and smart acquisitions. Unlike many teams that focus on making big splashes through free agency alone, Miami has been diligent in building a roster that is both deep and versatile. Bosa, while an expensive acquisition, fits perfectly into this strategy. He provides immediate impact while also complementing the existing talent on the roster. The Dolphins have managed to maintain flexibility in their cap space, and Bosa's addition, while costly, fits into a broader vision that could pay off in a big way over the next few seasons. The timing of this move is also critical. The AFC East is becoming increasingly competitive, with the Buffalo Bills and New York Jets making big moves of their own this offseason. But the Dolphins' decision to push all in on defense with a player like Bosa shows they are ready to capitalize on their window of opportunity. With a playoff-caliber offense already in place, bolstering the defense with a premier pass rusher like Bosa was the final piece of the puzzle. Now, the Dolphins are poised to make a serious run at the top of the AFC East and potentially a deep playoff run. Looking ahead to the 2025 season, the Dolphins' defense, anchored by Bosa, will be the unit to watch. Miami has the potential to become a defensive juggernaut, capable of taking down even the most high-powered offenses. For opponents facing the Dolphins, the task will no longer be just about containing Tua and the offense, but also about surviving a relentless defensive front led by Bosa. The Dolphins' ability to pressure quarterbacks and disrupt passing lanes will give them a significant advantage as they look to go toe-to-toe with the league's elite teams. The Bosa signing could also influence Miami's long-term plans. With such a dominant defense in place, the Dolphins now have the ability to focus on maintaining their defensive core while continuing to build around Tagovailoa and their offensive weapons. If they can continue to make smart moves in both free agency and the draft, they could establish themselves as a perennial contender in the AFC for years to come. Bosa's presence will allow the Dolphins to remain flexible in their approach while still fielding one of the most feared defenses in the league. The Dolphins' decision to bring Joey Bosa into the fold is a clear indication that they are not content with being a fringe playoff team. They want to be a championship contender. With a defense now equipped with one of the league's most dangerous pass rushers, Miami has positioned itself as a force to be reckoned with in the AFC. As the 2025 season approaches, all eyes will be on the Dolphins and their newly revamped defense, which could very well be the difference between a good team and a great one. This is a move that cements Miami's status as one of the NFL's most dangerous teams, and fans are understandably excited to see how it all plays out on the field. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.